Welcome to Silent Mystery Vault, where the past whispers its secrets and the unknown still echoes through time. Tonight, we open the vault on one of the most haunting unsolved mysteries in American history: the disappearance of the Roanoke colony. A colony full of men, women, and children vanished without a trace. No signs of struggle, no bodies, no answers. Only one cryptic word carved into a tree: CROATOAN. Our story begins in the late 16th century, a time of exploration, ambition, and empire. England, under Queen Elizabeth I, sought to expand its power across the Atlantic Ocean. The dream was to establish a permanent English settlement in the New World. But that dream would soon become one of history's darkest enigmas. In 1584, explorers Philip Amatus and Arthur Barlow sailed to the coast of what is now North Carolina. They landed on a small lush island named Roanoke, surrounded by calm waters and thick forests. The explorers met native tribes who welcomed them and shared their food and stories. When Amatus and Barlow returned to England, they described the island as fertile and full of promise. Their glowing reports captured the imagination of Sir Walter Raleigh, a close ally of the Queen. Raleigh obtained a royal charter from Queen Elizabeth I to establish a colony in this new land. He named the entire region Virginia in honor of the Virgin Queen herself. The mission was clear: bring English civilization, faith, and power to the New World. In 1585, the first English settlers, a group of 108 men, arrived on Roanoke Island. They built a small wooden fort and began exploring the surrounding land. Early relations with the local tribes like the CROATOANs and the CROATOANs were friendly and cooperative. But as weeks passed, tensions rose due to language barriers and cultural misunderstandings. Trade broke down, and the settlers grew increasingly desperate for food. Conflicts erupted between the English and the natives, leading to bloodshed on both sides. When English ships returned the following year, they found chaos and decay. The settlers had suffered from hunger and disease, and most wanted to abandon the colony. The survivors pleaded to return home, and the dream of Roanoke began to fade. Despite the failure, Sir Walter Raleigh refused to give up. 2 years later, he planned a second attempt, one that would include families, not just soldiers. This new colony would be led by John White, a talented artist and mapmaker. In 1587, 115 settlers set sail for the New World, filled with hope and determination. Among them were women, children, and families eager to build a new life. One of them, Eleanor Dare, John White's daughter, was pregnant with her first child. Upon arriving at Roanoke Island, the settlers discovered the fort from the first expedition abandoned. They repaired old structures and built new homes from the remains. Life seemed to begin again, but survival was still uncertain. In August of that same year, Eleanor Dare gave birth to a baby girl. She was named Virginia Dare, the first English child born in America. Her birth was celebrated as a sign of a bright future for the English in the New World. But that joy was short-lived. Within weeks, the settlers faced severe shortages of food and dwindling supplies. Relations with nearby tribes had grown tense and unpredictable. The colonists realized that without help from England, they would not survive the coming winter. John White made the difficult decision to return to England for more supplies. He promised to come back quickly with ships and provisions. But when White reached England, fate had other plans. England was preparing for war with Spain and the threat of the Spanish Armada. Every available ship was needed for defense, leaving no room for rescue missions. For 3 long years, White was stranded in England, unable to return to his people. His heart must have been heavy, knowing his family was waiting across the ocean. Finally, in 1590, he secured passage back to Roanoke. As his ship approached the island, his excitement turned to dread. The settlement was eerily silent, the once busy colony now overgrown and lifeless. The wooden fort was dismantled, and the houses had been taken apart. There were no people, no signs of struggle, and no bodies. Everything, every trace of life, had vanished. As White searched desperately for answers, he discovered a strange carving on a post. The word CROATOAN was etched deeply into the wood. Nearby, another tree bore the letters CRO. White remembered the secret agreement he'd made with the settlers before leaving. If they had to move, they would carve the name of their new location. If they were in danger, they would add a cross symbol beside it. But there was no cross. White took it as a sign that they had relocated peacefully to CROATOAN Island, about 50 miles away. He wanted to sail there immediately, but a sudden storm swept through the coast. The storm damaged his ship and forced the crew to turn back toward England. White never reached CROATOAN Island and never saw the settlers again. He returned home, haunted by questions that would never be answered. Over time, the story of the lost colony spread throughout England and Europe. Scholars and explorers tried to uncover the truth, but found nothing conclusive. Many theories began to emerge, each trying to explain what happened. The first theory suggests the settlers joined local tribes, especially the CROATOANs. Later, English explorers reported seeing natives with gray eyes and fair hair. Some believe this proves the settlers assimilated and lived on through generations. The second theory proposes that the colonists were attacked and killed by hostile tribes. However, no evidence of mass death or violent conflict was ever discovered. A third theory suggests that the settlers built small boats and tried to sail for England. Without proper navigation or supplies, such a voyage would have been doomed. Another possibility is that Spanish forces from Florida attacked and destroyed the colony. Spain and England were fierce rivals, but no records of such an attack exist. And then there are the supernatural explanations. Some claim the colonists were cursed, vanished into thin air, or taken by mysterious forces. While these legends make for haunting tales, they remain only folklore. In modern times, archaeology has provided new clues about Roanoke's fate. Excavations on Hatteras Island, once called CROATOAN, have uncovered 16th-century European artifacts. Items like copper rings, writing slates, and gun flints hint that some settlers lived there. Other digs inland, around 50 miles west of Roanoke, have revealed similar evidence. These discoveries suggest the colonists may have split into smaller groups to survive. Some may have gone south to CROATOAN Island, while others moved inland for safety. Yet, none of these findings give a complete answer. No records, no graves, no proof, only fragments of a forgotten past. The story of Roanoke has since become a timeless American legend. Virginia Dare, the first English child born in America, remains a symbol of hope and loss. Perhaps the settlers survived, adapting and blending into a new world. Or perhaps they vanished forever, leaving only the word CROATOAN as their final whisper. The lost colony of Roanoke remains unsolved, a mystery locked forever within the Silent Mystery Vault. Thank you for unlocking another story with us inside the Silent Mystery Vault. If you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, subscribe, like, and share to keep the vault open.